Hello and welcome to BMT Media, where we talk everything in television, on streaming, in theaters, and right now we're about to talk She-Hulk episode 5 spoilers, and we're going to review the episode. I'm here with Selena.
Hello.
Sorry, she was distracted. Uh, my name is Sean, for those of you who don't know me. And yeah, so, uh, episode 5. This episode, we find out that she doesn't have the trademark to her name, She Hulk, and other characters have gone and registered the She Hulk trademark, right?
Yes.
Titania. Or-
Yes, so Titania comes in this episode, so
She comes back
yeah.
after episode 1.
So she does a comeback.
Yeah. This episode, what'd you think about it? Or let me just give a quick recap about the
Okay.
episode so you
Okay.
could kind of gather your thoughts a little bit. We find out that she doesn't have the trademark for the She-Hulk name, so she ends up going to court with Titania over the She-Hulk name because Titania has basically put out this whole beauty line, using the She-Hulk
She-Hulk name.
name, the brand, and she basically has to prove that she's used this name over and over again without, you know, without the copyright as her own name, and the way that she ends up overcoming her is through her dating app,
Yeah.
which is their version of Tinder, and the fact that she went on there as She Hulk and she used the name multiple times before it was used as a brand for Titania's usage. And what's the secondary story that happens in this one?
I'm trying to remember secondary, but I just remember this part. I just remember her fighting for her name because Titania started her line.
Hmm.
Um
She gets a lawyer in this one.
oh yes.
Uh,
Um
Mallory Book, I believe her name is
mhm.
the lawyer. Played by
Renee.
Goldsberry, Renee, I want to say maybe. I think she does a very good job. We've seen a little bit of her in previous episodes, but this is an episode that mainly focuses on her. And yeah, what are your thoughts about this episode?
I think this episode was not necessary. I don't know. Well, it tied into the whole dating app, which I guess makes sense or was cool that they added that, but I don't think this episode was really necessary. I don't know how you feel about that. Or maybe it was important just with the whole She Hulk is her name situation, but to be honest, I didn't really find this episode as entertaining or as informative, in my opinion. I don't think it brought much to the storyline or the show itself. I don't know if you disagree, but
Oh, I
it
found
was
the. Uh huh. Go ahead.
it was interesting to bring Titania back into the storyline.
Yeah.
That was interesting, and I guess it shows that maybe she's like She Hulk's arch nemesis,
Arch nemesis. Uh huh.
arch nemesis. So I guess that was important, but other than that, I don't really.
I found the B storyline, which was
Which one?
the B storyline. The secondary storyline was her friend trying to find a
Oh
better suit
yes,
for
that's
her
what it was. Uh
or
huh.
outfit for her.
Oh yes, I remember that actually.
And they
Now
end
that you
up
bring it
going
up.
to this guy who's like, I guess, a superhero designer.
Oh yeah, I think what the only important part of this episode was the ending when the stylist brings out this box and there's a helmet in there, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like they made that such a big deal.
Hmm.
So I was interested as in, ooh, what does this mean? And I was hoping. Well, never mind. I'll just keep it at that.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna talk about the following episode, so I can just hold on.
Oh, okay. In the following episode,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it. Okay, so yeah, you said you don't feel like this episode was necessary.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't know.
I want to get your rating before I
On
say
this
anything.
episode,
Yeah,
I don't know,
from
baby.
1 to 10.
I think I'll give it. I'll give it a 4.5.
A
Four
5?
point five. Let's. I'll give it a 5.
You give it a 5?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's fair. Uh, this episode was bad.
Yeah, I don't.
It's really bad. It doesn't make any sense at all to me. I want to give it. Right now, I'm sitting at a 3 out of 10. Last week's episode, I believe we gave that one 6 and a 7.
Yeah.
So this one's right back. One step forward, two steps back. And it's a bad episode because I'm tuning in because I want to watch Jennifer Walters be this badass lawyer who's just kind of like, oh, outsmarting her competition basically, which is what we kind of see in the first episode where she had the opposition beat, and that's why they end up hiring her.
Or the second, or yeah, I don't know.
And this one just kind of made her look stupid, in my opinion. Which is why they had to bring in Mallory, her lawyer, and they kind of tell her, well, the first smart thing was that you brought me on. And this is Jennifer Walters' show. I don't want her to play second fiddle to another lawyer, even though she was a good lawyer. I feel like, you know what, you could give her give her the B storyline, because, in my opinion, the B storyline for this episode was completely unnecessary and was ridiculous and stupid and a waste of time. And the fact that Marvel paid these actors and these writers, you know what, not the actors, the writers and the directors, to go out there and film these shots and to sit down and I think Marvel got ripped off here, because whoever the hell wrote this literally put a piece of paper on the floor, pulled their pants down, pissed on it, and gave it to Marvel and told them, here you go, here's what you paid me for. And Marvel said, thank you very much, we'll go ahead and play this on our episode next week. And that's what happened. Because and this is why I'm going to tell you I don't like this, because last week we got to meet, I think her name was Madeline with a Y, but the Y is not where you think it is.
No, stop.
In this episode, I feel like we got like 4 different Madelines. And it works. It works for 2 people. It works for Nikki Ramos, which is her best friend, and it works
But
for.
see, I don't even think I see her as.
Yeah.
I think
She's definitely like that, but we see it in the next episode. We don't see it much in this episode. In this episode, she's just kind of like, okay, we need to get her some clothes, but she's
But
very.
I don't see her as that very.
Oh, she's not stupid.
Yeah, I think
No,
that's
no.
what I'm trying
Yeah,
to get
no,
at.
no,
Like,
but
I don't
she's
think
very
she's
girly.
stupid, but she's very.
Girly, very
I see. I don't know how to say this. Like, I see her very like Instagrammable kind of girl. Like, does that make sense? Or very like
I had a
high schoolish kind of vibe. Does that make sense?
I had a professor in film school, in my acting class, and she had done a lot of work, and she was a very serious professor. And one of the roles that she made one of my classmates play was this girl who basically wanted to become an adult film star. So that was
okay. That's weird, but okay.
Yeah, but it's basically this girl who and she named the character very ditzy poppy. That's what she named her, and that's the character that we see here,
A
which is
ditzy
why,
girl, is that?
yeah, like a
That's the
ditzy
thing.
girl.
Okay.
And she kind of like very bubblegummy, like you pretend like you're chewing bubble gum. You don't have anything in your mouth, but
So, like, um, oh my gosh, sorry, I interrupted
like a
you.
valley girl.
Yeah, I was thinking of the movie Legally Blonde, like in.
Yes, like Legally Blonde.
Uh-huh.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that because I was thinking about that as I watched this episode. Now, Legally Blonde, I think it's fair to say that
Elle Woods, right? That was the character's
it's a
name in Legally
very
Blonde.
good case study because Legally Blonde is a film that is constantly brought up in textbooks
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to structure, screenwriting, and how to write a good movie. Because Legally Blonde, it for what it is a perfect movie. It's an amazing film, and Reese Witherspoon does an amazing job with the character.
I agree.
But the reason it works in Legally Blonde is because she's the only one in that world who acts
Act that
like
way.
that. So she not only does she have that attitude, but she has the intelligence to hang with the best lawyers, and she's the one who ultimately realizes, "Oh, this is how we're going to win this case."
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's the reverse in She-Hulk where in this episode showed it Titania acts like this. Her best friend Ramos acts
Mm-hmm.
like this. Madeline with a Y acts like this. There was a Madeline's friend, the one that they bring in for the courtroom,
Mm-hmm.
acts like this. And we basically get introduced to this entire world that Titania is selling to that acts like this. And the reason we like Jennifer Walters is because she doesn't
She
act
doesn't
like
act. You're
that.
so right. Mm-hmm.
But I feel like little by little they're kind of turning it into
Into
that.
that.
And so I wanted to bring this up because of this. I haven't read every comic book ever written, but I've read enough to know who Titania is. And I've read some of her work in Secret Wars. She acts nothing
Like,
like what we just watched in this
okay.
show. Now, I'm sure there's some version of her that does act like this in the
Okay.
comics, maybe. But it's not the one that I saw because the one that I met, she was much more down to earth. She was
Okay.
grounded, and I like the Titania that we meet in Secret Wars because she feels like a real person. This, on the other hand, feels very fabricated, very
Mm-hmm.
formulaic, and it feels like the writers are telling the audience, "You are stupid, and you're going to like this because you're stupid."
Oh no.
Kind of like what was that fan fiction of
Which one?
Twilight that got turned into a movie, The 50 Shades of Grey?
Oh, uh-huh.
It's like that, where it's like they literally told the audience, "You guys are stupid, and you're gonna like this
Oh
because you're
no.
stupid."
Are you talking about Twilight or about the other one? Or about
50 Shades of Grey. No, because I don't think Twilight was made for. Twilight was written and made for people who like the vampire genre plus the romantic genre. 50 Shades of Grey was made for
Are you
stupid
talking
people.
about 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey was made for stupid people who. Oh, I'm just gonna leave it at that. It was
Okay,
made
yeah.
for stupid
Let's
people.
leave it as that.
Yeah, and this show, I feel like I don't like this character. I don't like this very ditzy girl character. It's fine for Madeline to be that way because she's a side character, and we're only gonna
Mm-hmm.
see her in one episode, maybe
Yeah.
two max. Her friend kind of acts like that, but in the next episode. But you know who else acts like that in this episode? The person that they go see who's making the suits.
Mm-hmm.
He acts very ditzy, very valley girl. And for me, it's like, is this how you guys want to port? This is the first gay character that they show in this um uh uh or male character that they show in this series, because I think her friend is also like bisexual,
Okay.
and they mention it in the when she's dating, where she's all like, "You heterosexual people have it so tough," or something like that.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, so her friend is like bisexual or something like that.
Mhm.
But this guy, and I don't even know if he is homosexual, but I feel like they wrote him in a very stereotypical way, and I didn't like it. I thought that character was stupid and it wasn't necessary, and you could have. I feel like it's
To be honest, I
lazy.
don't really remember much of his character.
It's lazy, right? The fact that you don't remember it,
I just remember him being like extra
yeah,
when he's like not wanting to see them, like book an appointment for blah blah. Just very
yeah, and
arrogant, I guess. In a
very
way.
arrogant, and you just have the word extra, and it's like you can write that type of character and you can make him interesting. You can make him
Mhm.
memorable.
Yeah.
The
Like
fact that you don't even remember him.
I'm thinking of Devil Wears Prada kind of character.
Yes, like Stanley Tucci, for
Mhm.
example. You could make anybody in Devil Wears Prada, any character in that movie, will run miles, will lap the character that they wrote in this episode. You just watched this episode today.
No,
Today.
this one? No, I watched this one yesterday. I think.
Okay, yesterday. You
Yeah.
just watched it yesterday. Well, regardless, you watched it yesterday and you can't remember him. Right? So that already tells you a lot. So it's just very lazy writing, very lazy filmmaking. I legitimately feel like they're not even trying.
I feel like they're trying to market this into like they're trying to fall into this whole world that we're living in when it comes to like Instagram and TikTok, like very social media, and it feels like kind of what you mentioned that they're kind of making fun of, or I don't think they're intentionally making fun of, but that's how it's coming off,
Yeah.
that they're making fun of all these Instagram people or all
Mhm.
these TikTok or
Influencers.
influencers. There you go. That's the word.
Mhm.
All these influencers, and this is how they act, and this is how the world is now. So I don't know if that's part
And
of
we don't
their.
we don't like those people.
We don't.
That's the worst part about it. Like I feel like the only time you hear about these people is when they do something bad or something stupid
Yeah.
and they're getting canceled
Canceled, yeah, when they're
everywhere.
getting canceled.
And yeah, you can go out there and say, "Oh, but they have like 5 million followers." Yeah, those are all a bunch of desperate guys who have nothing better to do. Who they don't listen to these people. They literally just mute them and look at their pictures. Like
Stop there, but okay.
no, like I'm not holding back on the show. I'm sorry, but like
No, I'm saying I don't want you to say anything that
no, fuck that.
you
Like
can't say.
I don't care. This is ridiculous because it doesn't make any sense to me how I'm in film school and I've seen good people
Mm-hmm.
trying to develop their skill, work on their craft. I've met people who have done all of the film stuff, who have graduated years ago, decades ago. Like, for example, some of my mentors, for
Mm-hmm.
example, who I believe deserve a real shot. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, I can write a better episode than this.
Yeah.
I know 100 people who can write a better episode than this. I feel like your sister, your younger sister, who's in high school right now, could write a better episode than this. And they can write more realistic characters. And once again, it's just great actors. Ginger Gonzaga, phenomenal actress,
Mm-hmm.
being let down by the writing.
Mm-hmm.
Tatiana Maslany, being let down by the writing. All of these people
Jamil.
Jamil, who came out in the Reese Witherspoon.
No, no, no.
No, no, no.
I'm confusing it. Christian.
Kristen Bell.
Good Neighbors? No. What is it called?
The Good Place.
The Good Place.
Yeah, we've seen good work from her.
Yeah. I really liked her character in that show too.
Yeah, and once again in this episode, it's just we see that ditzy character come back, and everybody around. This isn't the Tatiana that I liked in the
Yeah.
comic books,
Oh, for you, yeah.
and it's unfortunate that this is the way that you get introduced to her, because
Because it's very, like you said, very Valley girl, very
very
ditzy
stupid.
girl, and it's like, I don't know how I feel about her character.
Yeah, because you know what? So like you like watching shows that are like
Dumb.
Love is Blind, The Kardashians. I feel like this character, this ditzy girl character that they have Tatiana playing, that they have
Mhm.
the seamstress guy playing, that they have the Madeline character playing.
Mhm.
I feel like Kim Kardashian compared to them is a fucking genius. And you know what? Kim Kardashian passed the bar.
The baby bar, I think that's what it was.
Whatever.
She's past the bar. Yes.
That's a better meeting the Kardashians in that season following Kim Kardashian is a better lawyer show than this is.
Okay.
Which shows you just how ridiculous this is. Because even them, they knew, okay, we need a good case that would give us a good following. And I believe they chose to go and try to represent this guy who was wrongfully accused or whatever of certain crimes.
Oh, he was on the death penalty.
He was on
and
the
they were
death
trying
penalty.
to help him
Yeah.
stop that.
It's better than this show. How? How? Like, and for those people, I'm sorry if you watch all this reality television. I'm going to break that fourth wall for you guys. I'm sorry, but none of that is real. It's all scripted. It's just part of the
I'm a
business.
sucker for it, and
Yeah.
I still watch it, even though
Yeah,
I
you
it's
know,
not fake.
yeah, you know, and you watch it. You know why you watch it? Because it's entertaining, even because what they do well.
Yes.
This show can't even do what it wants to do well. And unfortunately, the actors are let down by it.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part for me to wrap my head around is just the actresses and the actors, like especially the main character, Jennifer Walters, Tatiana. Like,
Mhm.
I think this is her first breakthrough.
Yeah,
role.
this would be her breakthrough role.
Yeah, and I don't think they're giving her.
Much to work with.
Yeah, like I feel she has so much potential with what she's shown as Jennifer Walters in those episodes where she can be Jennifer Walters,
Uh-huh.
and it's such a letdown.
Yeah.
And I feel really bad because I'm thinking, is she gonna be offered other roles after this?
I completely agree with you. We're reviewing, what episode is this? 5 now?
5, yeah.
There's 9 episodes in this series. And we're already more than halfway through it. And we still don't know what the show's about.
Agree.
And that's sad.
Yeah, it is.
And I hate to say this, but whoever the showrunner is, whoever the writers are, I should be watching this and going, I want this person to write the next Avengers movie. I want this person to write the next Ant-Man movie. I want them to make a She-Hulk movie. I want to see She-Hulk season 2. I should be feeling that way.
But you're not.
Whoever the showrunner is, and we talked about her in like episode 1, whoever these writers are, fire them. I don't care. Fire them because they're stealing your money. To Disney, I'm telling you, fire them. They're stealing your money. Because
Sorry.
either the showrunner is telling them take a piece of paper and wipe their ass with it and turn it in as their work, or these writers are doing it on their own and giving it to the showrunner. The showrunner is looking at it and going, "Yeah, this seems right," and then passes it along
Okay.
to the directors. And they're like, "Yeah, that's fine. What it says on the page, that's what you gotta shoot." And the director's just probably going, just shit on a piece of paper. Okay, cool." And then they're trying to make sense of it. And they're like, "Okay, we'll just try to shoot whatever we can." And I feel like there's little blocks of writing
Mhm.
on the paper, but obviously there's a giant shit smear mark in the middle. So they're so they end up so they end up recording the little parts that they can
Stop.
that they can read, and then they don't record the rest of it. And then the poor editors are like,
Trying
"Okay,
make
we have
it
to
work.
we can't yeah, we have to make this work. We have to make sense of this." And yeah, I feel bad for everybody involved in this project because this is a bad project. That being said, once again, I don't think this is the worst thing on television. I think The Rings of Power is even worse than this because at least this, I watch it and I'm going, I'm gonna love shitting on this episode during the spoiler review. And in my mind, I'm basically writing a list of all the bad things in each episode so we could talk about it here. With Rings of Power, I have to try and force myself to stay awake.
To not be asleep.
Yeah, and they spent $500 million on their show.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this show, I'm sure they spent a couple million on it, but at the end of the day, it's just one of these. I like sitting here and crapping on it.
You're weird.
So what they call this hate watching, right? I'm not hate watching this because I don't enjoy watching this as I'm watching it. I want to skip through all this crap. And you just mentioned it where you have it as background noise. And so you've actually missed some of the parts of this episode and last week's episode because of it.
Mhm.
And I'm going to talk a little bit about it in the next episode, but I actually skipped parts of the next episode because that's how bad it was.
I actually watched the full
Next week's episode,
Yeah.
you watched that one? Okay. Yeah, I actually skipped through the fighting scenes. Little preview for those of you who want to know. Yeah. Um, this episode was bad. It's a 3. You give it a what?
I don't know. What did I give it? Now I'm like, I think I give it a 3 too. I don't know.
Yeah, this episode was bad. I don't like Titania. I don't like this character. I love the actress. I think she's done great work,
I agree.
and I know that she can do better.
Mhm.
Titania, I feel bad for her because she's associated with this shit show. And I think everybody involved, you know how Warner Brothers just got Zaslav,
Mhm.
their new president of their company or whatever,
Uh-huh.
or CEO. And you know how he's just axing shows left and right. He's just basically saying like Batgirl, for example, like no,
Oh yeah.
this movie is complete garbage, complete shit. We're not gonna put our name on it, and we're not gonna put it out there. We're gonna take a loss on it. That's what they should do with She-Hulk.
Yeah.
They should have somebody, Kevin Feige, who has put out over a decade of gold, who has made over $25 billion in the last over a decade, should have watched this show and gone,
No.
fuck no, I'm not putting my name on this. And it's unfortunate because as he's kind of been promoted, he has a little bit less opportunity to put his fingerprints on these projects, and he's kind of letting the creators have a little bit more autonomy. Whoever the creators, whoever is in charge of this show, and I'm not even gonna bother to look up who the showrunner is because I just don't care anymore. They need to be fired, and they need to bring somebody in. Reese Witherspoon has her own production company. Bring her in.
Yeah.
Bring somebody else
That'd be
in.
cool.
Yeah, bring somebody else in who knows what they're doing. There's so many people out there who are capable, women who deserve a shot. Fire these writers. I wouldn't even put it past them. I wouldn't even blame them if tomorrow Kevin Feige comes out and he goes, you know what, guys, we're just gonna retcon this. This has nothing to do with the Marvel. You know what they're doing with the Netflix shows, the Daredevil, the Punisher, and all that, where they're kind of bringing them into the Marvel universe, but they're saying, oh yeah, the Netflix version of them, that's an alternate universe. That's not the same ones that we're bringing in.
You want that to happen here?
Yeah, do that to this.
Oh, but see, it's like makes me sad because I don't want Tatiana to not be a part of it.
No, and that's why you're doing it, because you can bring Titania back, but just say, oh yeah, this She-Hulk version, she's in another universe. She's in a shit universe where everything is just garbage and crap, and she lives over there with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion in that trashy universe, and just leave her there, and then have a new showrunner. Yeah, have a new showrunner, new writers, and new filmmakers, and just reshoot this whole thing. And I feel like you can make a way better show, because I want She-Hulk to be successful. I want She-Hulk to one day be one of the candidates that we talk about, because we did a episode where we talked about who we think should be the next leader of the Avengers. I want She-Hulk to be in that conversation.
Yeah.
But in this world of She-Hulk that we're getting, I'm not interested in any of these characters being in the Marvel universe, unfortunately.
Yeah, we don't even know if they will.
Yeah. Straight garbage. Bad show. And you know what's the most stupid part about this?
What?
Episode 1, Tatiana broke into a courthouse.
Oh, Titania, you mean?
Yeah, Titania. Broke into the courthouse. She-Hulk stopped her. And now they're having a legal battle about the She-Hulk trademark name. the trademark to the She-Hulk name. Shouldn't Titania be in jail? For breaking into a courthouse?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure she should be in jail. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like,
yeah, because how did she get the money to start her own beauty line?
Regardless, she should just be in jail. In episode 1, she broke into the courthouse.
Maybe she's rich and she got bailed out and then she made her beauty line. I don't know.
Okay, but explain that.
I'm just making that up. I don't know.
Exactly. And you know what? Good television, you shouldn't have to explain it, because they would explain it for you. And yeah, that's my rant for this episode.
That's your rant for the day.
Yeah, no, it's not even for the day, because we still have to do episode 6 after
for
this.
The episode.
You know, if you guys feel different, if you guys don't agree with me, go ahead and put it down in the comments why you disagree with me, and I'm totally fine with that. I love having these debates, and it's all in good spirit of debating. Yeah, once again, I feel bad for all these actresses and actors that are involved with this show. One more thing, I don't like this guy,
Which one?
the male character. I don't know his name. I'm not gonna bother to look it up.
Which male character? From what?
The one who goes with her best friend to the designer.
Oh, the lawyer guy, I guess.
Yeah, because he acts very I don't know what he's trying to act.
Very dumb.
I guess they're trying to give him like this frat boy sort of fraternity
I
role,
get it, I guess.
and it's just not believable. It comes off more offensive than anything. Um, yeah, I don't like him. I feel like you know what it is? It's the male version of trashy that we saw in the earlier episodes, or the ditzy girl.
Hmm.
So it's the male version of that.
I think this whole show is trying too hard and it's just a hot mess.
I don't think they're trying at all. Um,
Or that too. I feel like they're trying so hard to be likable and it's just
I don't want. I don't think they're trying at all.
I don't know.
You can't be trying. Like, I'm sorry, but you cannot be trying. There is no way in hell that these writers, that the showrunner to this is actually sitting in an office for more than 5 minutes, racking their brain thinking, how can I make a good show? There's no way in hell that they're doing this.
Okay, I'll take back what I said about trying.
I don't know. I don't believe it. Um, I can't because I consider myself a writer. You've mentioned before how you see certain attributes in me that you come to me whenever you write something and you need advice on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel it's because I've shown that I can be a good writer. So part of the reason why I am, I want to say a decent writer is because I rack my brain and I study and I do the homework and I do the work um to be a writer. There's no way in hell these writers are doing the same work. Absolutely no way. They are collecting a paycheck. They are phoning it in. They're legit going there going, "Oh, Disney wants to pay me to write a show? You know what? I have no interest in this, but sure, I'll do it. I don't care. Give me the fucking paycheck. Let the paycheck clear, and I will write whatever you want me to write." And they sit down, they write what they write, then they wipe their ass with it, then they turn it in.
Stop.
No, fuck that. This is what they deserve. Fire these writers, fire the showrunner, get the fuck off of get out. Like get out. You know what?
You need to calm down.
No,
I
you
thought
know
we were done with the rant for this episode.
me too, but you know what it is? And it's ridiculous. So I watched European football, soccer as it's known here. And Manchester United is this team. I don't support Manchester United, by the way, but they're a team who have been rebuilding over the last decade or so.
Mm-hmm.
And when they have teams who are at the bottom of the league scoring 5 goals on them, 5-0, 4-0, I love watching the reaction of people who support Manchester United because there are these guys who have put Manchester United on this pedestal where they're like, we are the best.
Mm-hmm.
We're the biggest team in the world. No other team should be better than us. And watching them and I just reminded myself of one of them called Mark Goldbridge, who's the best content creator when it comes to football, to European football.
Mm-hmm.
And he sat there, and I think it was Liverpool or Watford who scored like 4 or 5 goals on them, and they had 0 on the scoreboard. And he legit, the moment they scored, he has like this moment where his brain turns off for like 1 second,
Mm-hmm.
and then an instant influx of anger comes in, and he just goes, "Get out!" to basically the players who
Mm-hmm.
don't want to play for the club, who clearly don't want to play for the club, to the owners who don't give a shit about the club, who don't want to invest any money into the club. And I always laughed at it because I didn't understand it because I don't have the same tribalism.
For these teams.
Yeah, for the teams that they have.
Mm-hmm.
but I do have it apparently for filmmaking,
Okay.
for Marvel,
From Marvel.
because over the last decade, even though people like Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola, all these well accomplished directors have come out and they've said, Marvel is not really the thing. Like, I've sat back and I've gone, you know what, Marvel is everything, because they put a black superhero
Mm-hmm.
in front of everybody. They took a shot on this, and he made 1.3 billion dollars, and
Yeah.
he's one of the greatest heroes that we've ever gotten. And tons of African Americans in this country and all over the world watch that movie and they go, one day that's gonna be me, and they have somebody to look up to. They went out there and they did the same thing with and this isn't Marvel. DC did this with Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
They put a woman in the forefront, the Trinity of DC, and she's on that same level and rank as Superman and Batman. And I want my daughters, I want my sisters, I want you, I want every female in my family and my friends to watch the screen and go, I want to be like that person and change the world like that person did. I want none of you to watch this show ever, because they are crapping on a decade's worth, more than a decade's worth of work that Kevin Feige put into this.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I think that's his name, Zaslav, would come here and just completely
Get rid of it.
get rid of this and just throw it away. And it's ridiculous to me that the fact that I can now relate to a Manchester United fan who, in my opinion, they're very um entitled.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I'm entitled. I just feel like
Is it
it's
more
not.
of like a respect thing or?
No, it's not even respect. It's just competence. It's kind of like, I guess you know what it is. It's kind of like how you feel when Donald Trump was in office, or how half the country felt when Donald
Mm-hmm.
Trump was in office. Where you're just like, look, you don't have to be the best of the best, but just do something competent.
Or just don't open your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Just do something competent. Just don't embarrass us.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm watching this show and I'm sitting here and I'm going, please just don't embarrass these actors.
I mean, I understand you in that sense. I feel the same way.
Mm-hmm. I want them out. The showrunner, these writers, get out, please. Just take your paychecks. You guys got paid. Please leave. Never come back. Go work on your own project. I'm sure you guys will do phenomenal work on your own projects. I don't want you anywhere near this product anymore, because you're ruining what was the biggest franchise in all of film history. Over $25 billion made. Avengers Endgame was at some point the largest grossing movie of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I think they made like 2.72, yeah, I think about $2.7 billion, $2.8 billion. And now they've been reduced to this. And it's like, how can you go from a show like WandaVision about grieving and getting
Mm-hmm.
over loss to this? How do you go from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, an African American taking up the mantle
Mm-hmm.
that in large has been synonymous with a white blonde male character, and kind of carrying that torch to this? Like, how can you go from Black Panther to this? Just do your fucking homework. I don't want to curse, but just do your homework. Watch the product. Look at how good it can be. And then do the work. Do the homework. Study. And then do it. Don't wipe your ass with the fucking script and then turn it in. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like that Judge Judy um uh quote where she would say, "Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining." Don't crap.
I don't know if you have the quote.
Don't wipe your ass with the script and then tell me you've worked on this. You've worked hard on it. That's bullcrap. Because the showrunner of this, the writers, they've worked on shows like Rick and Morty. I know that they can do something good because I've seen good work from them. And this is just them phoning it in. They don't care about the product.
I guess they don't. I don't know.
And Marvel, Kevin Feige, you're not going to watch this, but Marvel, any executive who watches this, fire these people. Don't let them anywhere near your product ever again. Get them away from Disney. Get them away from Star Wars. Get them away from Marvel. Get them away from DC. Get them away from all of these good products that have a future in them, that have
That potential.
that have potential, that have a built-in fan base. Yeah. If you disagree with me, go ahead and leave it in the comments. This is becoming a weekly thing now.
Your weekly rant.
I don't understand. We're recording all of this on the same day, by the way. I don't understand how I'm finding it in me to have new rants basically every 30 minutes.
I'm just letting you rant. Get all out.
Yeah, because you know what? I feel like you're not as you're not as invested in this as I am because you enjoy watching products from the industry, but you're not part of the industry.
Yeah, I think, and I totally get that. I get that you have a different perspective than I do,
Mm-hmm.
and I get why you're so upset. I don't, I don't get as upset as you
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not in the industry. It's not, but I understand you completely. Like this is your career goal, and
We
I get why you're upset.
we were having a conversation about this in the car earlier today, where you were telling me something was happening at work, and you were asking me, should I be mad? Should I be angry? So imagine that same scenario, but instead of it being a temporary job, it's a permanent job. And all you have to do is come in for 5 minutes a day, sit down, and stare at the computer screen for 5 minutes, and they get paid not
Like crazy amounts.
not no, not one level grade tier higher than you, but they get paid the highest tier possible for 5 minutes a day to sit down and look at a screen. And they don't even require a degree. They don't even require a high school diploma.
Then why don't you go do the job? Just kidding.
Like, can you imagine how furious you would be?
Yeah.
You were angry at this temporary position because they might get paid a little bit more. Can you imagine if it was a permanent position and they would tell you, no, you worked hard, you're not getting this position. This is for a stupid person. Mm-hmm. This is for somebody who is almost completely devoid of any possible formation of thoughts. That's what this job is for. Can you imagine how much angry you would be? And that's how I feel right now. You know?
I get you.
Yeah. This sucks.
Sorry.
Well, at least we have House of the Dragon to look forward to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, crap. But then we also have to do Rings of Power. I don't want to watch Rings of Power. Um, fuck it.
You know what? I'm actually not hating it that much.
Rings of Power.
Yeah, I think it's very slow.
It's boring.
But I'm like, okay, let's see what happens next.
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit, I'm way more intrigued than I am with this show. So,
By the way, there's only 8 episodes of Rings of Power, I think.
oh,
And we've already watched 2, so we've already watched 25% of it.
huh.
But at least with Rings of Power, it's like,
We know that something's
yeah,
gonna happen and it's leading to something, and we kind of know.
yeah. Same thing with House
So,
of the Dragon. From
mhm,
from the first 2 minutes of it, you know what the story is. You know what everybody's aiming for, gunning for.
mhm.
Here, we still have no idea what the hell is going on.
I think I've made a mental note to just go into each episode as it's a new one and see what happens.
I'm jealous of the Hulk.
He's MIA.
Yeah, because like, what was it, episode 2? He got on a spaceship and he said, "I'm out. This is where I get off." He saw where the show was going and he's like, not for me. And he dipped. He was smart.
Mark
I think.
Ruffalo was like, nope, bye.
You know what? I feel like that wasn't even written in the script, and I feel like the directors, cause
I didn't want Hulk involved.
yeah, in television, what a lot of people don't understand that in television, in films, the directors have a lot of power because it's their vision
Hmm.
that's being seen on the screen. So with them plus the producer, the executive producers are the ones with the powers. In television, it's the showrunner. So that's why you have shows like Grey's Anatomy with Shonda Rhimes, for example. She's the one with the majority of the power. And at this point, even Ellen Pompeo,
Mhm.
who is a senior producer in the series, has a lot of power. I feel like the directors, since they don't have too much power
Mhm.
in television on these episodics, and this is just a conspiracy theory of mine,
Mhm.
I feel like the directors read or saw everything that was happening and they're trying to give us clues using Wong, using the Hulk of get the hell out, leave, don't watch this.
I mean, I don't know, maybe. But why air it though?
You know what?
Just for the F of it?
When Disney Plus launched, they announced the movie with Anna Kendrick where she was like Santa Claus's daughter or something like that and she had to like replace him.
I think I kind of remember that.
It was a bad movie. It was a crappy movie. I would rather watch that than this. um yeah.
Well, I like documentaries, so I'm like, I would watch any documentary.
That's not a documentary.
No, I'm saying over this. Because I know some people don't like documentaries, and I'm saying I would. Well, you don't like documentaries either.
Yeah, but I would definitely watch a documentary over this.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you have Disney is worth I want to say anywhere from 90 to 120 billion dollars and they've spent a couple million on this. They've been robbed. I legitimately believe they've been robbed.
Maybe that's why they're airing it, because they realized that and they're like, whatever. We'll still air this.
Nah, they
Maybe
shouldn't.
we'll get something in return.
This is the same thing as the whole Ezra Miller situation for me, where it's kind of like you do more damage to your brand by putting this out rather than using it as a
Stopping it?
tax write off. Yeah. You're doing more damage to Tatiana than you are doing good.
Yeah, but let's be honest, I don't think they care about her, sadly.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. All right, well, I'm gonna fucking wrap it up on that. Um, go ahead, leave a comment. I know I've been wrapping this up for the last like 30 minutes, but whatever. For the last couple episodes, I've been saying Rings of Power is the worst thing on television. No, I'm sorry. This is the worst thing on television right now. And we've got Andor out.
Oh yeah, we do.
I've watched 15 minutes of Andor, and it's already a better show than the last 6 episodes of this.
Okay, to be honest, I don't think I've actually like watched much of it, but
How far did you get into it?
I think like 15 minutes, but I
What
wasn't
happens
paying
in
attention.
what
To
happens
be
into
honest,
it?
he's somewhere. I don't know. To be honest, I wasn't really paying attention. There was a clip. I saw a clip of a flashback. I think when he was younger or something. I don't know. There was kids, or maybe I watched a little bit more than you did.
No, because there's this very specific thing that happens in the beginning of that show.
Okay, I just
He goes
remember
into
when
a
you said it.
club.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
Did you see what happens when he comes out of the club?
He got beat up or something. I'm telling you, I wasn't really paying attention, so I need to actually sit down and just give it my full attention.
Okay, spoilers. He fucking shoots 2 cops in the head.
Why are you spoiling it for me?
Because you should have watched it. It's in the first 10 minutes.
We're not even talking about this show right now.
Well, the reason I'm saying that is because in the first 10 minutes, I'm more invested in that than I am in this. And we already know what happens to him because we've already watched Rogue One. So none of it really matters, but I care more about that than I care about this. And that's saying a lot.
And you spoiled it for me.
Yeah, I
So
don't
now I'm
care.
mad.
You should have watched it. I don't care. All right, see you guys next
Spoil
week.
something for you now.
You can spoil the show for me if you want. You'd be saving me a lot of trouble. All right, guys. See you on the next episode of BMT Media Reviews She-Hulk. I'm sorry if you guys have watched the show like us. Please feel free to vent. This is a safe space. Have a good one, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.